Optic, which is a huge football release. If you follow the Patrick Mahomes from 2017, the Josh Allens from 18, and the Kylers from 19, those are one of the most sought-after rookie cards for football collectors. So today we have 2020 Optic, and we did one case today, and it's very, very colorful. You get one auto per box on the hobby. They have the downtown inserts, which you see right here. We actually pulled a Pat Tillman, which was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, Pat Tillman, local
So you got
kid.
one downtown in that case.
One downtown in that case.
Okay.
But 40 guys on the checklist, all the guys that matter, all the rookies, Tom Brady, Pat Tillman, like we said. I think the cards look great. I mean, where do you think – I'll go to C-Rad on this one. Where do you think Optic stands compared to Prism in terms of football?
Well, if you go off any other year besides this current year that we're in, if you go off any other year, Optic's always rated a lot higher than Prism. Now the market's changed a lot in the last year, so it's gonna be interesting to see. But generally, Optic is rated higher in the shiny category than Prism. So,
and we had a couple people in the chat today that said that they prefer Optic over Prism and Mosaic
because of the autos. I bet you that's what they said.
It's
right?
the on-card autos. And I think the design to me, and I think we've had this conversation on prior hypes. I think it's the Prism came out first. That's why.
Yeah.
Prism came out, and then it was 2 or 3 years later then Optic came out. So it was like Prism already put its foot in the door, and it was the first.
Optic's trying to catch up.
And Optic just because it was second. But if they would have made Optic first, I think Optic would be the card that's the number one, the Optic Hollows. They seem to make a lot less Optic than they do in terms of Prism. So the pop reports on some of these should be smaller than Prism. Make your case here on why a collector would collect Optic over Prism, more than what you just said.
The main reason for me really is the on-card rated rookie autographs. They're always beautiful, especially like if you get a color. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Another thing to keep in mind too, like just based off of previous years for those that are new to the hobby, downtown inserts are very sought after, right? In specifically football and basketball. They're actually very, very, very rare in regular Donruss, like the flagship Donruss football. But in all previous years of Optic Donruss, they seem to be dropping way, way more. Like I know you guys said you only got one per case, but I wouldn't be surprised if I started seeing like 2, 3 per case.
Right.
In Optic. So just keep that in mind when you're maybe trying to buy a downtown on eBay or wherever
maybe wait a week or two,
market.
right, just to see how many come popping out.
Yeah. So I mean, because they are very sought after and collectible, and people love them. Obviously, they look beautiful, but they do seem to drop a lot more in Optic. But yeah, the thing, like for me,
why don't we compare hollow? Let's do this.
Okay.
Optic hollows, Prism silvers.
Okay. Rarity.
Obviously, Prism silvers sell for more.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is over the Optic hollows?
Okay, so just speaking from my opinion, like I've always been more of a Prism football guy. And I do like the on-card autos more. Like that's why when people bring up like, man, people always say I wish Prism autos were on-card. I was like, for me that's not why I would like Prism. I like Prism for the base and the colors, and then Optic is the one where I go to for the auto. So I think to answer your question, the silver is worth more. One, like you said, because it came out first. 2, it is more rare than a hollow. And yeah, I think that it pretty much boils down to that. They are more rare than the Optic hollows.
Dan, what are your thoughts on hollows versus
silvers? I think hollows you're getting about 4 per box. It seemed like I was getting 2 rookies and 2 vets, but small sample size. I've only opened up 6 boxes. The thing I want to break down though is cost per card, based on Optic and Prism.
Yep.
So if you buy an $800 box of Optic, there's 4 cards a pack. There is 20 packs.
Against significantly less cards.
80 cards, right? It's $10 a card. Right? $10 a card. You look at Prism, you get 12 packs.
12 packs?
Of 40 cards? Is it 40?
24.
No,
24 cards?
Yeah.
So I look at it and go, this Optic is a way more expensive product
way more
per
expensive.
card.
Way more expensive.
But you know what? It seems like there's a lot less fluff I don't know if that's
No.
the right word. I think Prism has all those vets, and then you're really only getting to the inserts and the rookies at the end, right? So or an auto or whatever. It seems like there's a lot more, like 10 of the cards in a Prism pack are worthless.
There's more fluff
Not
in
worthless,
Prism.
but
But if you like the feeling of like getting more cards, like Dan was saying, like Prism is where you want to go.
Well, I mean, a chance at getting. I mean, you but go into a store and you get one pack. You're getting 4 cards.
Yeah, it's
You
more
may-
brutal to open
you
up.
may get one rookie, but if you get one pack of
Optic.
25 cards in
Yeah.
a Prism and you
Yeah.
spend $100, you can get 3, 4, 5 rookies maybe, and you have a better chance of getting an auto because there's what
two
2 autos
compared to one.
compared to one auto out of 20 packs as opposed to one in 6.
and the price is, well, I guess Prism's a little bit. Prism's like, well, when it came out, Prism was about the same price.
About the same price, yeah.
So, what do you guys think? If you had the same, if they were the exact same price, what are you buying? Prism, Football, or Optic? I just want to hear what you guys say in the chat, and maybe on the Mojobreak media video, if you want to comment below on where would you put your money. I don't know. After opening Optic today, and maybe just that newness feel, I kind of lean towards the way the Optic looks. And I'm a guy, I don't like to have all those cards. If I open up a box, I don't want that many cards. You know what I mean? I just want my rookies and stuff, and I feel like that's what they do with Optic. They've eliminated a lot of the extra cards.
Yeah, I'll give you the on-card auto because, like, if we were to go a step further and talk about, like, the best on-card rookie autos to get every single year, obviously it's contenders, right? Number one. And I'm not talking about RPAs, just on-card autos. And then Optic would probably, rated rookies would probably be up there with contenders. Not as high as contenders, but it'd be up there.
I agree with the rated rookie stamp. I think that's super cool.
Yeah.
And that's something that Panini's done.
And they actually pimp that out a lot more than they pimp out. Well, the Prism just has the rookie card logo, right? So they pimp out the rated rookie logo a lot.
It's just for me, like, I'm biased for Prism. Like, I liked Prism when nobody liked Prism. So for me, like, there's just something about Prism football that I've always liked. All the colors, like a lot of base. That's, for me personally, that's where I'm at.
I do want to say one more thing before we go into the next segment.
So we eat barbecue in the next one.
Yep, going to Famous Dave's. The hollows this year, and it's not, once it gets in a top loader, I don't think it's really going to affect the conditions, not really going to affect if you get it graded or anything, but they are coming out a little bit more bowed. Kind of
Notice
like
more this year, yeah.
kind of like you would see in a Topps Chrome,
But only in the hollows, not so much.
only
in
the hollows.
Yeah.
So the base cards are fine. The regular base cards are fine.
flat.
The autos are fine. The hollow, the chromium technology they put on those hollows, it's a little bit thicker and it's slightly bowed, and you'll see it. The first one you hit, you'll see right away. It's got that little. It's got that little.
I mean,
it's not 2010 Topps Chrome bow where it's like a horseshoe.
Yeah.
But
I was gonna say, like, for those of us that have been in the industry for a while now, we're used to Chrome cards being bowed.
yeah,
So,
and I mean,
it won't really affect the when you're getting graded. It won't
once you
affect
put
it
it
too
in
much.
I mean, when you put it in a top loader,
It'll flatten.
But then especially
flattens
since
itself out.
especially when you get it sent in to get graded, then it's obviously.
But I was noticing, and this could have, obviously we only had one case, small sample size. It seemed like there were more imperfections on the Optic hollows than noticeably on the Prism. I mean, because Prism has a lot more lines and divots in it that maybe you just don't see the imperfections. But I was noticing a lot of edging.
A lot of edging.
A lot of edging on the hollows.
A lot of edging on the hollows, but with Prism you get the dimples.
Yes.
You get a lot of the obvious off centering on some of the Prisms. I don't know, man. If I had to pick one, I think I stick with Prism.
Yeah, and
I think Prism's the OG. Plus, I think it has to do more about when it comes out. It's basically right when football season starts.
It's a good point. Yes, it's right in the midst of the and rookies still have a lot more potential than just what we have now.
You kind of see, I mean, the Super Bowl was Sunday.
Yeah.
You kind of see the drop off of just the mentality of like, all right, basketball, looking into baseball, like, I'll start thinking about football again come like May.
To add to that, it's funny because this weekend, with Super Bowl weekend, and we were doing breaks, I was telling people like, actually, if you think about it, in a regular year, right, and even somewhat this, once football season is done, actually some of the best football products start coming out.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
like you're talking about. I mean, Optic obviously is one that always comes out near the end of the season. You got Select coming up. Obviously, the huge one is National Treasure still
Never
coming
heard
out.
of it.
One Football, Plates and Patches,
People like it?
Limited, Flawless. Like all these great football products actually come out after the season's way done.
Yeah, we're like only halfway through product.
Like
releases.
so, if you look at
Maybe a little bit
if you
more.
look at the products that are coming out while their season is going on, there's some good ones in there. There's obviously some good ones in there, but the best products actually come out after the season is done.
Well, we are. Doug's right. I mean, we're what, halfway through?
maybe 60%, maybe
but
60%.
We will still see a 2020 product come May or June.
Maybe even later this year
Maybe even
because of
later.
what's
But
happening.
I think June. June or probably sometime in June we'll see the first 2021 draft product.
And not to jump ahead, and I do want to go over what people said in the chat because there's some good content in the chat about Prism versus Optic. Did I see yesterday that there might be 4 straight quarterbacks? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm pretty
Possibly.
sure they said it was Lawrence, Fields, and then I can't remember the other 2 guys.
Where are these quarterbacks going to play?
Well, you got the Jets, you got the Jags, you got the
Sam Darnold and Gardner Minshew. Who else you got?
I like Minshew.
The Texans are going to get rid of their quarterback.
Sean
so-
Watson.
I still have hope for Donald, bro. I interviewed him. He likes Taylor Swift.
He liked Pokemon. He collected Pokemon.
He likes Taylor Swift.
So I have hope for him, bro.
Eyes met, sparks flew, emotions ran high. I mean, you guys, best buds. What's he eating for lunch?
I
today?
did wish I'd interviewed Josh Allen too, though.
Yeah. Well,
my
I
guy.
think they passed him out, right? They didn't.
He was in
they
front of
didn't-
us. Josh Allen was in front of us.
Yeah.
You didn't
interviewing.
do Rosen, right? Rosen didn't.
Rosen was you guys the next year.
No,
Oh,
Rosen
no,
was that
no,
year.
Rosen was that year.
UBB
He was
did
2018.
Rosen.
Okay.
Yeah, UBB did Rosen that year, and I think it was. He
Oh
was,
yeah, they kept warning us.
yeah,
about
because
him.
he was saying like, why are he's like, why can't I keep this? You're doing this for free or something like that. He was like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And he's like, no, my customers have bought these cards or something like that.
Interesting.
He's like, they just give this to you.
Rosen was 2018. I forgot.
I know. It's on the Niners now. We'll see.
But we didn't do it 17 though.
No.
But we went to the GTS event.
Yes.
17 was basketball. We did the basketball event in 17, and then
That's
2018 we did football, and then you
In
guys
2019,
did
2019 we did
Yeah.
football. Didn't do it last year.
No basketball last year. either.
No, nobody did it.
All right, so go some of the people in the chat. Max says Optic looks way better. SB says Prism Football as is his pick. Max also says rated rookie stamp all the way. Jem says who cares how it looks like Prism. Yeah, I get that point. Prism is more easy on the flipping.
That
Prism
wasn't
will-
always
Prism
the
will be
case,
king.
bro.
Yeah.
That wasn't always the case where you could say Prism. That's the one, because I broke Prism for years when nobody didn't give a damn about Prism football.
Yeah, Prism
Like,
Football
literally
picked up 2 years ago.
Hey
pretty
man,
much.
no one. I remember breaking Prism basketball when no one cared.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Bro, I broke cases and cases of 2017 Prism at a loss. Nobody cared about it, but I loved opening it because I love Prism football.
Yep. And then tough question is if we are taking value Prism, but I like Optic, Chris says. So, yeah, kind of split. I think more people are leaning more towards Prism. One thing interesting to note, I don't know if you've seen it, but Select Football retail now.
It's a retail only.
They're making retail SKUs now.
Woo!
So a lot of people are upset.
That's the MVP product usually every year.
Yeah, so I don't know how they're gonna break it down. I don't know if they're gonna keep the premieres and the field levels and all that stuff in the retail version. We'll have to follow that story as it comes out. But it's definitely gonna water it down.
It was bound to happen.
It's not surprising. It's definitely not surprising. Panini needs to make that money. And they may be getting pressure from the NFL to make more product and make more money for them. But yeah, Select is going to be in your local Walmart and your Target for about 30 seconds. So you need to get your flip flops and your
You need to
socks.
line up at the front of the door.
Flip flops and socks is the official wear of the flipper. And you sit in there and you wait and you maybe grease the wheels a little bit with the guy that's going to bring it in. So I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go down.
And
maybe,
you might break the shelf.
Yeah. You just take it all. Fight. Going to be fight.
You should have ran with it with C-Rad there. You should have been like, yeah, dude, it's only retail this year.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
I know his face was.
Yeah,
serious.
I think you about ready to break his heart right there.
Yeah, dude.
was,
I mean, we've been getting less and less of Select every year. So obviously that sucks that we're not able to break as much. But if it was retail only, I was about to rage.
Safe to say though,
I was
like
gonna rage.
in football, I would still rank it Prism, Optic, Select.
I would rank it the same way. However, Select is everybody's favorite product because it just delivers.
It has everything.
Yeah.
It has a little bit of everything. And I think one thing to note with Select that a lot of new collectors don't keep in mind is the 3 levels of parallel add extra value. Because you could have a silver premier level, which is worth less than the silver field level. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's, instead of having a pop report, and it equals out to the same pop report, but instead of having like 8,000 Lucas Silvers, you have like 2,000 of each one, right?
Yeah.
So if you get that field level of Tua or Herbert, then it should be worth more than. So they kind of do different tiers of those parallels, which is kind of interesting. And a lot of collectors don't know that. And some of the guys that have invested early kind of bought those Lucas, those Trays, those Premier. I think what's the basketball Premier
Concourse. It goes Concourse, Premier, then Courtside.
Courtside, yeah. So they were buying the Courtside silvers, and those hold a premium because that's the hardest parallel.
Super premium.
Yeah.